Hey everybody, Playtendoguy here, and I'm back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be giving you my latest PS5, PS4 and a Switch pickup video where I go through all the games that I've picked up over the past couple of months. There's a few to get through, so without further ado, let's get into it. So greetings and salutations everybody, hope you're all doing well and keeping safe, and thank you for joining me for another video. Really do appreciate the support and you watching my videos, it means the absolute world. So today I'm going to be saying, as I said previously, going to go through all my video game pickups that I picked up over the past 2 or 3 months. There's a few to get through, some big new titles, some titles that went on sale, and a couple of bargains as well. So there's a few to get through. So without further ado, let's dive into it with the first game. The only Switch game. Haven't been playing my Switch too much, but this one come out. I do need to play my Switch and get onto this one. Never played the original, but I heard loads of people love it. And that's Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. When this was announced, I was like, yeah, brilliant. Finally, a proper Paper Mario game, because Paper Mario games haven't been good for the past decade. But this one's a remake of a 2002 game, which is a traditional RPG, so cannot wait to check this one out. I heard this really charming, got a lot of humour and great combat, so cannot wait to check it out. It looks absolutely superb. So that is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Next up is 3 PS4 games. One of them's a standard release, the other 2 are kind of special editions. So first up, I went into B&M, and they do video games, and they're normally about 10 to 15 quid, but this one was reduced to a £5. I have it on Switch, I have it on Wii U, but for a £5, I thought I'd pick up on PS4. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. For me, the best Assassin's Creed game. The best pirate game. What a brilliant title this is. I absolutely adore it. The story's great, the world's brilliant, the sailing's incredible. It's such a fantastic game. Probably would be in my top 100 games of all time. I really do enjoy it. I really wish that they'd go back to this pirate sort of setting and give us something like this instead of something like Skull and Bones. But apparently the rumour mill has arrived saying that this game is going to be remade. So with modern day graphics, I'll be up for it. So that's Assassin's Creed Black Flag for £5. Not too bad. Next up is a game that came out years ago, and when it came out it was an absolute mess. Never did pick it up, and then I heard it got fixed, and it's always cheap on the website called The Game Collection. So I decided, you know what, I've got enough free points, I can get this and another title that I'll show later for about 2 quid for the lot. So I picked up 13. This is a remake of a game that came out about 20 years ago. It's kind of a cult classic. Played through a bit of it, it's okay. It definitely does feel like a game from the early 2000s. The art style's okay, but it's very it is definitely quirky, shall I say. It's a very nice addition. Unfortunately, there's not a PS5 4 to 5 upgrade, which apparently the developers promised and then went back on. It's a £15 upgrade, so that is a bit of a shame. But as I only paid a couple of quid for this, I wasn't too fussed. I mean, the main thing that sold me was this lovely looking steelbook. I mean, look at that. That is actually really quite gorgeous. So normally this is about £6, £7 on the Game Collection, but with my rewards points, I got this and another game that I'll show you later for a couple of quid. So that's 13. This is a game that I remember coming out physically a year or 2 after its digital release. I wanted to get it, but it was always like 60 quid. And I just thought of the game the other week and was like, oh, I wonder how much that's going for. And I had a look around and couldn't find it cheap at all. Then I checked on eBay and yeah, somebody was selling it for 20 quid. I offered a cheeky bid of a tenner and it got accepted. Psychonauts 2. Yeah. I remember the original Psychonauts, a very interesting, wild game that was supremely creative and way out there, even back in the mid-2000s. And this one's supposed to be just as good. I played about 10 minutes of this one, and yeah, it's pretty darn good. I definitely want to go back into it and play a bit more of it. There's no like PS5 upgrade to it, but it does run a little bit better on PS5 through backwards compatibility, like 60 frames per second. But really want to get a physical copy of this one. This one looks like a sort of collector's piece. You don't see many people get this. When it came out, it was 60 quid. I really don't know why. This one comes with the lenticular sleeve, 6 premium stickers, 6 art cards, and a digital download documentary. So a nice little release. Would have been nice if it came with a steelbook, but it's still a very nice release, and it's nice to have this game on physical. And as of now, it's the last Double Fine game to be released on a PlayStation system since they've been bought out by Microsoft. But the way Microsoft's going these days, I can see like future titles coming to PlayStation systems. So that is Psychonauts 2. Next up is another collector's edition, but we're on to the PS5 games now, and this one was going for about $8.99 on Argos's website. I had about £7.50 in Nectar card points, so I decided to pick this one up, so it only cost me about £1 and change. I did want to get it from Game Before because it went to a similar price, but unfortunately they sold out. But I picked it up for £1 and change. It's The Chant. It's supposed to be like a horror film, cosmic horror game, should I say. Don't really know too much about it. I heard the reviews for it were rather middling, but it seems to be one of those solid AA games that deliver a good time. This one does come with an art book as well, and you do get some DLC codes as well. So I'm going to probably pop this one on in a little while and give this a quick shot, because it does look like quite an interesting little title. Be sure to check out your local Argos for this, because this is going for $8.99. Well worth picking up for PS5 limited edition. So that's The Charm. Next up is a game that went down in price in game. Normally this was going for about 30 quid. And I thought it was a misprint. It was going for 9 quid, so I picked it up straight away. It is Neon White. Neon White is like a first-person speedrunning shooter game. Puzzle, roguelike elements to it. It's really fun, got a great style to it. Kind of feel a bit Persona-like as well. Pretty darn difficult as well, but a really enjoyable game. Neon White. Next up is a game that I haven't really heard much about. Then I saw a YouTube video saying how it's actually a pretty darn good little game. So I picked out Outcast, A New Beginning. This dropped down to about 25 quid in game, so I decided to pick it up. And it's your traditional open world action adventure game. It looks really quite nice. It definitely is a AA game, which is by no means a bad thing. That's a great thing, especially how AAA games are going these days. Some characters look a bit odd, shall we say, but the performance is good, the gameplay's fun, and the world looks quite beautiful. It feels very Pandora-esque. Definitely well worth checking out as it's on sale, because there isn't really many big games coming out at the moment, so give Outcast some time, because yeah, it's a pretty darn fun game. Next up we have a horror game that I want to pick up in March time when it was released, but unfortunately it was quite a bit expensive for it. I knew it wasn't going to do great, so I held off until it went down in price, and it did. It went down to £25 in swipes, and I urge, if you're a horror fan, Resident Evil fan, pick it up. Alone in the Dark. What a great little game. I know reviews for it have been quite middling, which is a bit unfair to it. A lot of people compare it to the Resident Evil remakes, and it is unfair. It is a game made on a smaller budget, but there's a lot to like here. Some great combat, some really creepy atmosphere. Would have been nice if there was some more enemy variety, and yeah, I know a lot of people will say the graphics aren't that great, but hey. Graphics and everything. The gameplay and the story is the main thing, and this has it in spade. Also does star David Harbour and Jodie Comer as your leading characters. Alone in the Dark is a remake of Alone in the Dark, a game from the 90s that did inspire Resident Evil, and you can definitely feel that Resident Evil inspiredness all around it. It is a great little game. It's a little bit short, about 6 to 8 hours, but you do have 2 different campaigns with multiple endings, so it makes for a solid 15 plus hour time. Highly recommend picking it up. It's 30 quid in game, 25 quid in Smibes. If you like your horror games, pick this up. It is a banger. Next up is a game that I thought I'd never pick up, but I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. Been hearing some positive things amongst the negativity. So I decided to take the jump and pick up the Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League. It's alright. It's alright. It's definitely a huge downgrade from Arkham Knight, which is a game that I wasn't a huge fan of, but yeah, it's definitely Rocksteady's weakest game. What I will say is the game has a great story. The mainline story is interesting. The camaraderie between the 4 Suicide Squad members are great. Unfortunately, the gameplay is fun but repetitive, and the gameplay levels are repeated a lot. I find this very similar to the Marvel's Avengers game. It has a solid single player story, but once you get into the end game stuff, it just rinse and repeats it to just boring levels. It's currently going for about 25 to 30 quid. Worth it if you're interested, but I'd say hold off a little bit longer till it hits about 15 to 20 quid. It's a solid 10-hour campaign here, but definitely not the best game, not the worst game, just bang average. So that's Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. This also got reduced. I do have the original release on PS4 for it, and I remember when it came out, it caused a lot of controversy. But for me, it didn't really affect me too badly. I only had 2 crashes during the whole playthrough of it, so I wasn't too fussed. But I always wanted to play the DLC and get the PS5 upgraded version when it came out. Went down to 20 odd quid, so I decided to pick it up, and that's Cyberpunk 2077, the Ultimate Edition with the Phantom Liberty bundle. I transferred my save over, pretty much got all the trophies for that, but playing the Phantom Liberty DLC, and it's pretty darn lengthy. Very much like the Witcher 3 DLC, it is very in-depth, there's a lot to it, and there's some good replayability to it. Idris Elba is a nice addition to it, and it's a nice little epilogue to Cyberpunk 2077. The game is fixed now, it's fantastic. Honestly, definitely pick it up, it's a great game. Is it as good as The Witcher 3? No, but it's still a pretty darn good looking game, and a darn playing one as well. The PS4 version unfortunately comes with the download code for the Phantom Liberty, but if you're an Xbox player, you get it all on the disc, you lucky sods. But no matter what console you get it on, it's hardly worth picking it up, Cyberpunk 2077. Picked this one up about 2-3 months ago from Smibes, and this went down to like 20 quid. Heard some positive things about it, but have yet to touch it yet. From the developers of the fantastic Life is Strange and the supremely underrated Vampire comes Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. This is set in 1695. These are like spirit hunters. One of them dies, and they have to help their partner to try to come back to life. It's a really creepy does kind of remind me from the trailers from a Playtendoguy game, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. I've heard the combat's pretty good. Again, another solid AA game. We'll probably check it out once I've completed a couple of others games, but I cannot wait to check it out. That is Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. So if you haven't checked this one out, highly recommend giving it a shot. Next up is something a little bit embarrassing, but I decided to pick them up for a bit of exercise. I picked this one up. I got this free thanks to my vouchers from the game collection. Just Dance 2023. This one goes against everything I believe in as a physical media collector of video games and films. This is a code in a box, but I used vouchers, so I didn't pay for it exactly, and also it's a spare case, which I actually had to use because Suicide Squad ended up coming in a broken case. This one is the broken case now. So yeah, it's had its worth. The game is Just Dance. It's fine. Load of new songs in it. They're trying to make it more of a live service now. Putting codes in boxes is real crap. It's a waste of plastic. It's a waste of our time. Waste of everybody's time. The only reason it's done is just so it can get some shelf space. But that shelf space could have gone to a game a bit more disturbing than this.
I did pick up the other two that did get proper physical releases. Picked up Just Dance 2022 for £4 and Just Dance 2021 for £5. This one's the French edition, so you get a couple of extra songs with it. This one's the English edition, and you get like some Just Dance Plus or some unlimited fun games. You know what you get, and it definitely comes from that old era of the Wii games where it was very casual focus. A fun blast from the past, a good bit of exercise, and a fun evening in. So that's Just Dance 2022, 2021, and 2023. Don't judge. Next up is Sonic Superstars. I picked this one up for, shockingly, £12, which isn't too bad at all. Really enjoyed playing it on Switch, so I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up on PS5 as well. And yeah, I played a bit of it. It's not too bad. It has glitched out a couple of times on PS5 for me, not on Switch, so be a bit wary of this one. But for £12, I'm pretty happy with it, and it's another Sonic game for the collection. So yeah, that's everything that I picked up over the past 2 to 3 months on PS4, PS5, and Switch. What games are you currently playing at the moment? Are you interested in any of those games? Tell me all in the comment section down below, and thank you ever so much for watching my video. I really do appreciate it. You take care, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye!